So this is the third video in a series I've just started called Watch This Article, where I take an article that I've learned something from and I turn it into a video. Today's article is Your Goals Are Overrated by Mark Manson, who wrote this book and this book. So at the end of each year, I like to set goals for the following year, and this year was no different. But I changed my approach based on what I had read in Mark's article, and I also documented my goals in Notion. Each year, I generally like to have 5 goals that I'm working towards, and my goals for this year were to maintain good physical condition, to drink less alcohol, to get better at handstand push-ups, to post 12 YouTube videos, and to care less about what others think. When I was preparing the script for this video, I realized that one of those goals was actually a habit that is helping me to achieve one of my other goals, but I'll go into more detail about that later. So let's take a look at Mark's article and I'll explain why it's changed my life. If I was to summarize Mark's article in one sentence, instead of focusing on the end outcome, focus on things that you need to do on a regular basis in order to help you achieve that outcome. So what habits do you need? He discusses a really common goal that a lot of people have, which is to lose 20 pounds by summer. Here down under, we use the metric system and 20 pounds works out to about 9 kilos. Mark argues that this isn't a great goal to have because it requires a lot of discipline and a lot of energy. Eventually you'll get tired and you'll give up, and that's why a lot of people fail to achieve their weight loss goals. Mark argues that a better use of your energy and a better use of your time is to come up with a habit which will make that goal an inevitable outcome. Goals are often more sexy, it's easy to visualize in your mind what you're going to achieve. But habits, on the other hand, they're not as exciting, but they are far more valuable. And a habit that is well designed will help you to achieve your goal. It'll help you to achieve that end outcome. There's nothing wrong with having a goal, but Mark's advice is to look at what habit you can use that will make that goal an inevitable outcome. So I still set goals myself, but each time I set a goal, each time I'm thinking about what it is I want to achieve, I think about what habit I could use to make that goal a reality. Before I discuss my goals for the year, I wanted to do a quick introduction. If you are new to this channel, my name is David Milan and I'm an HR professional working in Australia. Over the course of my career as an HR professional, I've spent lots of time helping employees with their career, and that's what I like to do with my videos. I also wanted to give a quick explanation regarding my moustache. I am raising funds for Movember this year. I'm currently at $650 and I would really like to get to $1,000. So if you would like to make a donation, the link to my page is in the description. So if we return to my goals, I will show you how I incorporated Mark's article. Let's start with my first goal, maintain good physical condition for the year. Obviously there is an element of vanity to this one, but there also is a health component, and the definition of good physical condition will vary from person to person. For me, it means that I'm able to perform well in the gym, my clothes fit properly, and things don't jiggle too much. In the past, I've gone on strict diets and I've achieved good results, but I've struggled to maintain what I achieved. And this year, I decided to use the knowledge from Mark's article to come up with a habit which would make my goal more achievable. And the habit that I came up with was to have a 30-day food challenge where I would do a 30-day sprint eating according to a specific diet, and then have 10 days off where I would relax what I was eating. And I call this the 30-10 method, and it's really made a big difference to me in terms of being able to maintain a healthy condition throughout the year, but also being able to relax from time to time. Doing those 30-10 sprints over the course of a year works out to eating healthy for 75% of the year. During those 30 days, I implemented some other habits which have made a big difference for me. I only eat 3 or 4 times a day and I don't have any snacks. I don't finish other people's leftovers. As a dad, it can be really tempting to finish what your kids haven't eaten. Another habit that I use is that I only eat 1 portion. If I am serving myself something to eat, I won't have seconds. And the final habit that has made the biggest difference for me was to focus on a whole food diet. So eating as close as possible to whole foods. This means that during those 30 days, I don't eat breads or pastas or cheese or ice cream or any of those fun things. It is a bit restrictive, but it makes me focus on fruits and vegetables and lean meats. So that habit throughout those 30 days makes a big difference for me. So all of those habits stacked together have made it far easier for me to achieve my goal. My next goal for the year was to drink less alcohol, and my friends think that this is a bit of a ridiculous goal because I really don't drink that much anyway, but I did want to try it this year. And I thought about a way that I could build a habit into that goal, and a way that the habit would help that goal to become become an inevitable outcome. And so this year I decided that I wouldn't drink beer for the year, which is not as hard as it sounds. This habit has made a huge difference for me. Perhaps it's just an Australian thing, but beer seems to be the #1 drink of choice for Australian guys. And so when I would go to a friend's house, they would offer me a beer, and I became accustomed. I was in a habit of saying to them, I'm not drinking beer this year. And inevitably they wouldn't have anything else to offer me. And so I wouldn't have anything to drink. And so that habit of giving up beer for a year, it led to me drastically reducing my alcohol consumption. And there's a great line in Mark's article where he writes, maybe you're starting to see the matrix now and you're starting to realize why you've failed to achieve goals from the past. And I hope that if you're watching this, you're starting to see the matrix as well, and you're starting to understand how powerful habits are and how they can make a big difference in you achieving your goal. So in Mark's article, he refers to 6 fundamental habits that will make a big difference in your life. And one of those habits is exercise. And one of the goals that I had for this year was exercise related. If you were watching at the start, you would have heard that I said I wanted to get better at handstand push-ups. So to get better at handstand push-ups, I decided that every day I would do 3 handstand push-ups. And this is just a small amount, it's a small number, but it's one of those exercise goals where if you start with something small, once you've done that, you're likely to do more. And that's what's happened for me. I'll often do 3 handstand push-ups, and once I've done those, I'll do some more. And even if I just stick to that bare minimum of 3 handstand push-ups, over the course of a year, it works out to over 1,000 handstand push-ups, which is a lot more than I would have done in the past, in previous years. And so that habit, doing that every day, and focusing on that is what is leading to me getting better at handstand push-ups, and it's leading me to achieve my goal. So when I was preparing this script, I realized that my goal of posting 12 YouTube videos a year was actually a supporting habit for my goal of caring less about what other people think. Let me explain. So when I wrote my goals at the start of the year, the most important one was to care less about what other people think. In the past, that has really held me back from trying new things because I was worried about what people would think of me. I was worried that people might think he's not good enough or he shouldn't be doing that. So I decided that in order to care less about what other people think, I needed to put myself out there more. So I started a personal website, I created a Twitter account, and I decided that I was going to post on YouTube. So my initial goal of posting 12 videos on YouTube changed into a habit of posting a video each week. So the original goal that I had changed into a habit which is supporting my goal of caring less about what other people think. I know that some people are a bit anti-goals. I still think that goals have their place, but they can and should evolve and change over time depending on the circumstances and depending on what you are trying to achieve. So whilst what I've covered has been largely related to personal goals, I still do think that this concept, the concept of using habits, can apply to your career as well. Over the course of my career, I've observed lots of employees who create goals, but they don't devote time to thinking about what are the habits that I could use to make this goal an inevitable outcome? What is it that I need to be doing on a weekly or a monthly basis that will help me to achieve that goal? So that's what I would encourage you to think about next time you are working on a goal in your organization, in your career, is to think about what habit you could introduce that would help you to achieve your goals. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. To truly help you apply what you've learned, it can be really helpful to think about what was most useful for you in this video. If you do feel confident about sharing that in the comments, please do so. That helps me to keep track of what people are finding useful, and it will also help other people. Thanks again for taking the time to watch. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.